Curtis Jenkins, Vice President of Strategy and Planning. He is a project manager for over 10 years with his most recent experience in mergers and acquisition integration program manager. And Curtis serves on the National Executive Committee and the National BDPA Board of Directors as VP of Strategy and Planning. Curtis has just a wonderful bio here that clearly shows dedication to BDPA, and I'd like to get him on the air. So welcome, Curtis. How are you tonight?
Franne, I'm doing very fine. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited. I will say before you ask me any question, I think I know the answer, and that's ditto, because everything that everybody else has said already is powerful and impactful, and I'm very excited to be a part of this organization. So thanks for having me, and thanks for having such wonderful guests to listen to. I'm just hoping that I'm able to provide a fraction of the passion and power of what they represented in our interview. So thanks again.
Oh, thank you. And I know that you are, to talk about power and impact, that is your middle name. I would put that in quotes, Curtis Power and Impact Jenkins. So we're going to get started. And with VP of Strategy and Planning, I mean, you're doing the things that Patrick Nelson talked about. You're doing them on a day-to-day basis within BDPA. So I'd love for you to share with us, because some people may not kind of understand the National Board of Directors, and they may not be aware of what it is you do. So if you could kind of answer that question, what is your role, and how do you add value, very similar to what I asked Patrick, on the chapter, regional, and national levels? Because a lot of times our audience is saying, wow, that's great that we've got leaders in BDPA, but in a sense, what does it mean to me? So I'm going to stop talking and let you share your brilliance.
Okay, so let me give you a bit of context first. You mentioned the National Board of Directors. That's made up of the National Executive Committee, which includes elected positions and appointed positions, the elected positions being the president, the national president, the vice president of finance, and in our new regional role, we've voted in regional directors and regional vice presidents. That's the other portion of the National Board of Directors is the chapter presidents. So all of these folks serve as the leaders for the organization. My specific role as VP of Strategy and Planning is to set the direction for the organization. We get together on a yearly basis and we decide how well did we do and what do we need to do moving forward. One of the things that I do to add value at the national level is take a look at it from a strategic perspective. What are competitive organizations doing? What's happening with IT industry trends? What are some of the surveys that we've taken and that we could benefit from? I mean, I was listening to the young man Khalif and already taking in something that he said about partnering with other organizations. And then what's the voice of the chapters? What's going on at the local levels, and how can we take the positive things that's going on and use that as marketing, and then some of the challenges and struggles that they have so that we can problem solve. So that's what I do. I bring all of that together and try to create a strategy for the entire organization. What we've done is we've created a 5-year plan under 3 strategic pillars. The first one is organizational cleanup. There's a mess with the economy, and like other organizations, we have to retrench and we have to do things right. We have to do them the right way. We have to do them at the lowest possible cost and get the most value. The second is organizational transformation, and we've gone from a organization that was national. We remain national, but we're going to operate on a regional structure. 2 reasons. One, it allows us to go from a national board of directors of 50-plus people down to 17 people, and so that it makes the decision-making much more easier. It makes the cost of having the organizational meetings much more prudent, and it allows us to be able to focus on a regional level, what are the things that matter most in the Northeast region versus the Midwest region, and the West region versus the South region. That way we can truly reach our third strategic pillar, which is membership value. If we can touch those members on what's relevant to their regions and those sponsors, we can add value to the organization, and then we can grow the organization in a manner that allows us to operate in an environment that's very difficult to maneuver in. In addition to what I do is I manage the relationships and the partnerships that was mentioned earlier. So I evaluate whether we should partner with organizations like BETF, which is a natural partnership because that's the sister organization, right? That's our foundation. ITSMF, that's another organization that partners with us that helps us with our classroom to the boardroom mantra. They're focused more on the boardroom area. But then there's other organizations that we partner with to say, you know, what's the value for us being a partner, and how can we create some synergies so that we can grow together as an organization? And that's what I do to help out with the chapter, regional, and national levels.
Wow, that was very comprehensive, and you know, being able to share with us those three pillars: organization cleanup, organization transformation, and membership value, and the fact that it's a 5-year plan. So, you know, you're helping to create the vision, to get the strategy, and to get it done. And one of the questions that I had when you were talking about some of the things that you do is that you said you look at IT trends. Are there some trends that, you know, you could share with us very quickly that may be important for members to focus on in terms of professional development, like Mario was identifying, or something for members to perhaps consider as a workshop to bring into their chapter meetings, et cetera?
Okay. I'm going to dovetail on what Mario stated, and he talked about mobility. Everything is about mobility. Right now, our computers that used to be these big behemoths are now these tiny little things that we carry around, and we do everything on them. We shop with them. We talk on them. We pay our bills with them. So mobility is I believe, the major trend that we're going with IT. The other one that I don't think I heard him mention, but this is near and dear to what I do professionally, and that's the security behind it. I mean, we have a situation, national security situation, where people are always trying to hack into our data on a daily basis. Identity theft is a real thing, and companies are really making a large investment in making sure that they're protected. They protect their customers. They protect the company from being hacked by individuals that spend their lifetime on a daily basis trying to hack into our companies and hack into our national infrastructure. So those are two major trends that I think you can't lose if you look into those types of industries. Now, when you're having your program meetings, there's so much more, but I think it'll behoove the chapters to get someone to come in to talk, but not only talk, but to demonstrate what things are happening within the mobility space and the security space.
Okay, that's really helpful. And as you said, there are people that dedicate their life to, causing havoc. So being able to be on the other end and helping with security, that's actually probably a very secure investment of your time. So as we kind of build on that, you've been in many roles in BDPA, and based on the fact that you are now working from a strategic perspective, what are some strategies that members can have in terms of being both innovative and practical to get the most out of their membership? I think sometimes people don't recognize that they can set strategies and look for return on investment. So I'll turn the question over to you.
Wow. When you ask me that question, Franne, I can answer this from so many different perspectives. But I'm going to take a stab at it, and if I move from one perspective to the other, I'll let you know why I'm moving. But for the first part, from a membership perspective, when you join first you have to join the organization. Then you become a member. And so I would like, if you're on the call and you're not a member, consider joining. Once you join, understand some of the benefits. But I would say that one of the biggest benefits that I get is the aspect of networking, because networking allows me to learn from others, and it allows me to inform others. And that way I'm constantly growing because of my communication with others. From a serving perspective, and I use that term because as a leader, I'm a serving leader, and I believe when you give, you get. So join the organization and become actively involved. And in terms of being able to set strategy, I would work to become a member of a board or a committee. Do something for the organization, and then look to see what you can get out of it for yourself. Decide what you want to get and what you want to learn, and you can practice it within BDPA. I think it was mentioned by Patrick earlier. In terms of setting a strategy, get yourself a good team that have different perspectives. However, they're committed and passionate to the organization. Develop a shared vision. Align with the national strategy. One of the things I've always told in chapters is there's a national strategy that was created by your chapter president because he or she serves on the national board of directors. Align with that strategy. Create a good plan. Validate that plan with the board. It was spoken earlier by Patrick about a corporate advisory council. So if you get another set of eyes and ears helping you out with that, anything that you can dream of that you want to do, that you have the resources and the time and the passion to create, you can achieve it as an individual member or as a group within a chapter. But you have to join the chapter, you have to join the organization, and then you have to decide individually and collectively where you want to go, and then you can make it happen no matter what it is that you want to achieve.
Wow. Powerful. And didn't I say powerful and impactful? Curtis, I was going to ask you what's one final thought you want to leave the audience with, and I know that I will have you back on the show. So I think I'm going to end on a personal note and have you, and we have only about a minute, but to share a little bit about your story in terms of how you got involved in BDPA and kind of why you're so passionate. So we'll end on the personal.
Okay. So in 2002, I was in transition, like many. I found out that BDPA was having a meeting, National Board of Directors meeting in Philadelphia. I attended that meeting, and the first thing that attracted me was there were a lot of people like me of color in the IT industry that are movers and shakers in the industry. So I wanted to be a part of that. As a result of being a part of that, since 2002 up to now, I've served as VP of Professional Development, President-elect of the Philadelphia chapter, the President of the chapter, the immediate past President and Corporate Advisory Council Chair of the Philadelphia chapter, and now serving as the National VP of Strategy and Planning. I do that because, again, you get when you give. As a result, my income has tripled. My last 3 jobs have come from BDPA relationships. There are a number of relationships there are a number of jobs that I've impacted, got people into because of my relationships. So personally, the organization has helped me grow. Believe me, having this conversation with you now, the words just flow out of my mouth. But prior to that, I didn't speak so well. I was always afraid of getting in front of a group. Now I do it so easily. So BDPA allows you the opportunity to grow. You have a great support. You can be what you want to be, and all you have to do is put into it what you want to get out of it. and it's been wonderful for me. And I'm also a lifetime member of BDPA, and that's a membership category that I'm always pushing on. So I believe in it. Every time I'm paid, the organization's paid. A lot of times you hear me say to other people, BDPA is my church. I donate to the organization through BETF, and I do that on a regular basis. So I am BDPA. I'm passionate about the organization, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm here to stay.
Wow. Oh, that's up. I know Wayne is going to take that MP3 clip as well. So great. Well, that is a wonderful way to wrap up our show. So, Curtis, I want to take a moment to say thank you so much for giving of your time, sharing your passion, and really sharing it in such an eloquent way. And I love that little soundbite of your income has trickled. You've gotten your last 3 jobs from BDPA, and it really has provided you an opportunity to grow and be supported. So thank you, and have a great evening.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. You too.
You're welcome.